Sometimes it's hard to come back to earth. When you're dealing with a big issue, it can be all-consuming. The mind just loops and loops on the same story over and over. And even when you do the work, you may not notice much of a shift. This is because the mind has gained a certain momentum. It has become a kind of self-contained spinning machine, if you will. And no evidence, no matter how good, is going to stop it. It's just on a roll, and it's just spinning and spinning and spinning. It's a case of the mind staying purposely out of touch with reality so that it can keep the story going. So how do you come back to earth? The key for me is to stop working on fixing the problem. Just put it on hold for a while. That problem has become like a black hole, sucking into oblivion even my best attempts to stop the story. The story is too big to stop when it's spinning. It's isolated in space, and it's just too hard to do anything with. So I stopped working on fixing the problem, and I dropped down to the level of everyday life. I ground myself with my day-to-day life and start doing the work there instead. You can guarantee that the big story will show up there too, but it will show up in small, manageable bits found in the context of living my daily life. This is a very big difference. Same stuff. You're dealing with the same issues, the same stuff, but you're dealing in this case with a very concrete, specific situation versus this huge, enormous idea which just gains momentum and, as I like to say, spinning in space. It's just, there's no way to stop it. So this is the value of the Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. Judge Your Neighbor worksheet is not about solving my big problems. It's about dealing with one little situation in my life at a time. That's all, just one. One moment in time. Who just annoyed me? That's a worksheet. I can handle one moment in time. I can work with that. It's doable. It's concrete. And I'm not trying to solve my big issues here. I'm just doing the work. That's when the work works best, in my experience. That's when I'm dealing with the little stressful incidents in my life in a very concrete way that, strangely enough, the big spinning problems tend to disappear as well, all on their own. They're connected. It's the same thing, but it's just so much easier to handle when you're dealing with the details of a specific situation. The power of the work lies in specifics. I encourage you to walk through your day and let life show you the next time and place where you get triggered. Do a worksheet on that, whether it's related to your big issues or not. This keeps you grounded, and this is the most powerful way to do the work, in my opinion. So we'll end with a quote from Byron Katie from her book, Loving What Is. The more you do the work, the more uncensored you become, and the pettier you like to get, because it becomes hard to find something that will upset you. Eventually, you can't find a problem. That's an experience I hear from thousands of people.